Okay, brother, I'm just going to take you through a litmus test of using this in a radionic capacity opposed to like a ritualistic one. Still the same board that I filmed and sent to you a few days ago. And this is going to be a test of strength gain when I use this radionics machine slash spirit board in a vampiric setting, in a vampire capacity. Okay, so I'm transferring the energy of this zebra to myself here. This is a picture of myself. But before I do that, I just want to make sure that I get 5 readings of my pressing strength before the operation and then 5 readings after the operation. And you'll see this is just a normal scale that you measure your weight on. And I place these plasters here to ensure that it's the same hand position. And here on the floor, I just wanted to make sure that my toes are placed on these plasters so that it's the same position and the variance in the positioning of my body stays the same. This is how I make sure that everything's controlled and that there are no variances. Because sometimes, depending on your body's position, you can affect the strength output. So I just want to make sure that everything's controlled and everything, all conditions are equal, pretty much. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 5 readings of my pressing strength and then do the radionic operation and then measure if there's any strength gain, and hence calling this a litmus test. So here we go. This is the first reading. I just want to make sure that the positioning is the same, more or less. Doesn't have to be exact, but as long as it's the same. So press. Okay, so we got 36. So that's before. I got a 32 here. I got a 30 here. Actually, that was not very clear. Let me try again. Now, bear in mind that I'm pressing as hard as I can. So this was 31. I'm actually having to use my body weight as I press. And the final one, say 34. So 36, 32, 30, 31, 34. We'll say that this, on average, let's say it's about 32. We're probably looking, actually 33, 34-ish. We were probably looking at that kind of a ballpark here. So let's commence with an operation. And this is effectively going to be our litmus test. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to place the picture of myself and the zebra in the input. And what I want to do here is I want to establish the relationship between the zebra and myself. And we're not so much working with life force just yet. This is just to establish the overall connection, the overall relationship between me and this animal. Okay, so until my body feels right. You'll notice that I don't use a stick pad here. I use the body pendulum. If it's a right sitting, I just sort of subtly swing forward. And we are connected. Okay, so, and of course, if you want to use a stick pad, you can. This board does not have a stick pad. If you've been using radionics as long as I have, eventually you develop this sort of attuned connection with your instrument, and you will sort of know, it'll feel right when you turn the dials. You will establish that connection automatically. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to place the picture of myself here in the ritual board. Now, bear in mind the ritual circle. The ritual circle and the output can essentially work in the same capacity. So it wouldn't matter if I place my picture here where the pyre would normally burn, or here in the output plate. In this capacity, they're one and the same. Okay, so for now, I'll just place it here. That's going to be my output. And I'm going to place the picture of the unfortunate zebra here. And I'm going to take a rate for the life force now, the life force of the zebra. And what's going to happen is we go clockwise, and it'll go through this crystal right here, and this crystal will filter out all the energetic gunk and transfer the pure energy that I want onto my witness. So here we go. This feels right. This feels right. This feels right. I already am feeling it in my body. This feels right. This feels right. This feels right. This feels right. And the final one. Whew. Dude, I can feel it. Believe me. Well, we'll see through the numbers. But if you're properly attuned to your radionics machines, to the practice itself, there was no mistaking it in terms of how you feel internally. You can't fake this stuff. Okay, so here we go again. As you can see, the positions of my toes are exactly where they are, and the position of my hands also. And the first reading. Whoa, I think I got a 45. Sorry, here's another one. 46. See an immediate increase. Immediate. 46 again. 2 more left. I think I got a 48. And in a moment, I'm going to tell you something that'll blow your mind. 48 again. So I think on average, we're looking at least a 30% increase in strength. And this is just a start, Joshua. Let me tell you right now, in 2 hours, I could take readings that are even larger than the after one. So this was the before, this was the after. And quite frankly, I think I've used more of my body weight in the before than the after. With the after, the increase in strength felt like it was more effortless. I didn't actually have to use my whole body weight. And yet, despite that, there's a very clear increase in strength. I would guesstimate anything between 25 and 35%. So there you have it, the litmus test. And believe it or not, let me show you this. This is nothing more than a pin attached to a fridge magnet under it, and a metal shaped to look like an arrow. And I just place it here, and this is Radionics on the cheap. So this board works. It can work for vampiric purposes. It can work for ritualistic purposes. And so feel free to print yours. And I printed this in A3, by the way, and plastered it to, I laminated it first, just so, you know, the longevity of the printout is extended, and I plastered it to a normal 55 millimeter board, and it seems to work pretty well. So any questions you have, bro, I hope this litmus test proved edifying to you and increase your confidence in the use of your own board, and we'll go from there.